Welcome to day 12 of our Ghost Host Halloween countdown here in the lab for 2025, counting down films that feature real life horror hosts. TV shows and films, I should say. Yesterday's entry was a Saturday morning TV show called The Hilarious House of Frightenstein, which starred Billy Van as a number of characters, including the titular Count Frightenstein. So I'm sure there's a lot of you out there who remember fondly watching that one, like I do. Okay, reaching in here tonight, see what we're going to cover. Tonight's entry is a little bit more modern one, but one that I really dig because I'm a big fan of the lead actor in this one, Bruce Campbell, and that is Bubba Ho-Tep. This 2002 horror comedy was directed by Don Coscarelli and is based on the short story by Joe Lansdale. It tells the story of Sebastian Half, played by Bruce Campbell, an elderly resident at the Shady Rest Convalescent Home in Mud Creek, Texas. He's a former Elvis impersonator who claims he's the real Elvis Presley. According to Half, he changed places with an Elvis impersonator in the 1970s to escape the limelight for a while. Unfortunately, the impersonator died and no one will believe Half's story. His only proof of the deal, a signed document, was destroyed in a propane explosion. It doesn't help his credibility one bit that his best friend is a fellow resident named Jack, played by Ossie Davis, who insists he is the former President John F. Kennedy.
President Kennedy was a white man.
That's how clever they are. They dyed me this color, all over.
Residents of the hospital begin dying suddenly, and Jack and Sebastian, Elvis, discover that a 3,000-year-old mummy has returned from the dead to feed on the souls of the residents of Shady Rest. The King and Mr. President break out their walker and electric wheelchair to try to stop this ancient soul sucker. Throughout the film, a pair of bumbling coroners show up from time to time to haul away dead bodies. Now, it's a comedic bit that's played for laughs, and one of the coroners is played by actor Dan Roebuck. Dan has had a successful Hollywood career, appearing in a number of high-profile projects such as The Fugitive, Final Destination, and Rob Zombie's Halloween. He also created his own horror host character, Dr. Shocker, which is a tribute to his host growing up, the 1970s Philadelphia host Dr. Shock, played by Joseph Zawislak. Dr. Shocker utilizes a similar makeup and costume to Dr. Shock's in a loving tribute to the Mad Host, who in turn had taken his look from Zachary. Dan first played the character in Halloween, The Happy Haunting of America, a 1997 documentary about Halloween haunted houses across the U.S. It also features Bob Burns as Kogar the Gorilla. Bob had also had his own extensive horror host background. More on him in another video. Also appearing in this one is Dr. Shocker's bumbling sidekick Igor, played by Chuck Williams. Chuck also appears in Bubba Ho-Tep as one of Elvis's posse during his famous years. Halloween, The Happy Haunting of America was co-directed by Dan and Chuck. The pair would reprise the roles of Dr. Shocker and Igor several times throughout the years in various video projects, including Dr. Shocker's Vault of Horror, Dr. Shocker's Halloween Spooktacular, and Monsterama, a tribute to horror hosts. They both also appeared in the Don Coscarelli film John Dies at the End. Bubba Ho-Tep has garnered a real cult following over the years. Actor Bruce Campbell's performance as Elvis in old age makeup is fantastic and one of my favorites of his career. The story is quirky and original, and the music is terrific. Plus, it has a great monster. The best part of the film for me, however, is Elvis reflecting on his life, his regrets of wasted opportunities and missed relationships, and the search for meaning in his twilight years.
It ain't much of a home, but it's all I got.
Alright, so Bubba Ho-Tep, I love this film. It's so good. Don Coscarelli of Phantasm fame, did a great job. Joe Lansdale's script is masterful, and I love Bruce Campbell, of course, in this. Danny Roebuck is a friend of mine. I just saw him at Wonderfest last year, year before last actually, and of course he just starred in The Munsters as Grandpa Munster, which how cool is that? He got to play Grandpa Munster. I gotta say, when they first announced Rob Zombie was going to make The Munsters, I somehow knew that Dan was going to be involved, but I thought he was going to play Herman. I really thought he would get cast as Herman, because he's not a little guy. Dan's a decent sized dude. Give him some big stacked boots. I think he could have pulled it off, but once I saw him as Grandpa, yeah, he nailed it. Actually, he's the best of the cast members as far as nailing. He comes pretty close to Al Lewis's Grandpa in his delivery, puts his own little spin to it, and they gave him a little bit different makeup look with the mustache and everything. I love it. I thought it was really well done. What do you guys think about tonight's movie, Bubba Ho-Tep, and what do you think about The Munsters also? Dan does a good job in both. Little small part here, but it's fun. Nice little comedic touch throughout Bubba Ho-Tep. That's it for tonight. Join me back here tomorrow night. Click subscribe so you don't miss any of these, and I'll see you back here in the lab. Stay mad.
Don't make me use my stuff on you, baby.